I've never not come on here, bro, and told you the truth about me. You boys know every single detail. I'm going to tell you something else about myself. Just before we get into the video, bro, I want to mention that I do one-on-one coaching and I want to help you bring out that young man that I know you can be. I was him, that young man that had no confidence, was bad with girls, no willpower, no discipline, not knowing what to do with my life. I made every excuse under the book and I built myself up by myself with no helping hand. And along that way, I learned the tools, the mindset, the roadmap on how you can do that yourself because I'd done it within me. I want to help launch you up. And with that, I know my coaching's different because we'll be speaking daily. We'll be having weekly one-on-one calls along with that, and you'll have a network of young men all like you wanting to build, support each other, and win. If you want to join my coaching, go to the link in the description and sign up to the second tier or message me on Instagram and we'll change your life. Let's get into the video now, bro. From the age of about 5 all the way to about 15, the young man you're now looking at, I didn't exist. And even at 15 years old, bro, I didn't exist because I went on a warpath of drugs and making mistakes and doing the wrong thing. Let me tell you something, bro. In that 10-year stretch, from 5 to 10 years old, I was a very sensitive, scared, insecure, worried young boy. And it kind of makes sense. My whole life growing up, bro, I was surrounded by drugs and chaos and fights. Like, I grew up in public housing for 20, 21 years of my life. And even within my house, bro, it was war. There was so much violence, so much chaos. And that really absorbed inside of myself to where I went through life when there was conflict, scared. When something would happen, I'd cry, I'd buckle. And it took me a very long time to realize that my life in a roundabout way set me up for something that I'm going to teach you so that you can get ahead in your life. You see, most of us don't realize that life as a man is war. And when life hits, and it's going to continuously hit, bro, it can come at a girl leaving you, it could come at having money problems, it could come at having some internal problems, it could come at just living in this modern world where everyone's a bit cooked and retarded because Instagram's got us and social media and we're sitting there playing games and jerking off all day. The world is coming to get us, no matter what. And if you're not up to standard to go through these wars, then you're just going to be destined to lose. And I genuinely mean that. Like, I was destined to lose for so many years and I lost for so many years, but I'm going to now teach you something. You see, life as a man is genuine war. But there's two battles that we face on a day-to-day basis. And we're going to really look into this. It's the internal battle that we all face. And this will look like self-doubt. This will look like laziness. This will look like insecurities. And then there's also the external. And this is a big thing. Because most of us, right, we can kind of navigate the internal insecurities and problems that we have because we can run away from it. We can get on our phone and just watch some YouTube, watch some Mr. Beast or something like that. But the external is very hard to hide from because it's outside, right? It's your friends. It's what the culture's doing. It's what everything around you is pushing for you to be. And as a man, if you really look at how this world is set up, it is set up for all of us to lose. Genuinely. That's why there are so many more winners. There are so many more losers than winners. That's why there are so many weak guys, not even with the ability to call themselves men anymore, because this world has set us up to lose. You're seeing the world shift in real time, and there's a way that we can start to break open this mindset of that life is war, that the battles that you have to face are internal, and the internal battles are quite easy. You keep your word, you build your body, you make a plan to get rich, you go out there and you put yourself out there. You'll start to see, if you do that over a consistent amount of time, have a life filled with good habits, the internal side of you will start to sink to a winner, to someone that believes in himself, someone that's results orientated, which drives you to be confident, to have a little bit of a good ego. And the external, I mean, that's kind of easy once the internal has been set. And I mean that. So let me break this open for you, bro. take a look at this. Most of us need to wage a war. And I want you to realize that you need to go to war with every area of your life, right? And this is very toxic to say in this generation and this time. But I'm going to say it directly to your face. There is so many things in this world that I know that you want. You want a beautiful girl. You want to make some money. You want to be respected. You want to have that nice car. You want to have your business generate this amount of money. You want this, you want that, you want this, you want that, right? And I don't believe there's anything wrong with having whatever you want. Actually, to be honest, I think that it's a man's internal drive to conquer, to win, to destroy, to have what he wants. We've all got it. And we've seen it in the movies that we've watched. We see it in the games that we play. We see it in the videos we're jerking off to, man. We've got this in this wiring to conquer or to have the best of the best. We genuinely do. So I need you to look at that every single thing you want, I want. Every single thing that I want, you want. Everything that we want, someone else wants. And when you really look at the savagery of this world, it is kill or be killed. We are living in a concrete jungle as we speak, bro. And you have to wage this war that you are going to be the absolute best so that you can have what you want and not let another man take what you want. Because that's the world we're now living in. Where there's another man that looks like you in another country who's outrunning you, zooming past you in this race of life to get exactly what you want. And this is extremely savage to say, but it's the honest truth. So we need to break this open. So you need to go to war with yourself. But then how do we actually go to war? Let me break this open. As a man, the biggest thing that holds us back is our weakness. But too many of us, we're too scared to even open up this Pandora's box of what we're genuinely weak at. So the most important thing that you have to do as a man is you need to identify your weaknesses. And just be brutally honest with yourself. Tell yourself you're not good with girls and you don't know how to speak. Tell yourself you're fapping 20 times a day. Tell yourself you've got an addiction to junk food. Tell yourself you're fat and overweight. Tell yourself the honest truth about your life. Identify them. Bring them to the surface. See it for what it is. Maybe you're fat and overweight. You're a fat idiot. Look at you. Maybe you're bad with girls. You're an insecure little bum. You have to look at yourself in this savage way. Because it's when you genuinely see it, right? That's when you can make improvements. And the harder you are with yourself, I believe is the way that you can push yourself in a quick mentality. I mean, in a quick, steadfast way. Because I will tell you, my mentality towards everything was looking at myself, you're a fucking idiot. You're a loser. I looked at myself as a skinny drug addict after using drugs for 5 years. And I said, look at you. I did that to myself. I called myself exactly everything I had to call myself. And I was savage. And you know what? That was one of the best things I could ever do for myself. Because I realized, yeah, I am this way. I'm a bum. I'm ugly. I'm fat. I have yellow teeth. I looked at myself as everything, bro, and I went deep. And that made me think, okay, well, hold on a minute. This is my problems. They're all fixable. Let me go fix them. So bring your issues to the surface. Don't hide from them. Journal them down. Voice record them. Re-listen to that voice recording that you make. Hear it. And you'll see it. And you'll be able to adjust, make moves so that those issues in your life aren't a problem. Might take some time, but they're all fixable. The next thing, and this is something that I live my life by to this very day, is having non-negotiables for your life. And this is being a man that doesn't drop his standards. Standards for what you take from people, standards for what you accept from yourself. You have to have these non-negotiable standards for your life to go to war with. Non-negotiables. So take a look at your life right now and tell yourself, it's a non-negotiable for me to go to the gym 5 days a week. It's a non-negotiable to be making X amount of money per month. It's a non-negotiable to be not approaching 10 girls a week. You have to look at yourself. It's a non-negotiable for me to make sure that I don't fap. It's a non-negotiable for me to make sure I only eat good food. It's a non-negotiable for me to work on my business. Have non-negotiables. And for the standard of life that you want to live, adjust your non-negotiables. Okay, you want to be rich? Beautiful. Make sure you're putting in 5 hours of work on your business per day, non-negotiable. You want to have a good body and get good with girls? Non-negotiable to be training 5, 6, 7 days a week and approaching as many baddies as you see. Non-negotiable. Of course, you have to do the deeper work. You have to figure out the business. You have to get good with talking if you're trying to speak to girls. But this is a big thing. So set some standards, set some non-negotiables, and wage that war. Because even with these points, right, you identify the weakness and you wage a war with those weaknesses, and then you have these standards that you're running and performing through your life by, you are defeating the system. The grip that this world has got on you to be a young man that ain't really about it, you've already gone, looked it in the eye and said, let's go. We're at war. And this is a big thing. The next point, and this is crazy, but you need to have a baseline of fear or a baseline level of discomfort. Because most of us don't realize our lives are set up for comfort. And you have to have this baseline of discomfort. So whether that's every single day, you're doing something that pushes you to just be in a zone. You take a cold shower for 5 minutes. You approach that beautiful girl. You do this, you do that. You start the business that you haven't been, wanting to do because you're too scared of other people's opinions. Have a baseline of fear. Start learning to box and get into some sparring sessions. That will cause some real fear, bro. Have a baseline that way every single day there is something, getting you into that kind of fight or flight mode, but you're learning to adjust. Because as you start to build yourself up into a man that's calibrated, that's focused on winning, of defeating what's going on in this outside world and winning the war, you'll see that you build yourself up to someone that just cannot be defeated. And I've seen this in my own life now. I'm a walking, living, breathing example of someone that has done the internal work within myself so that I could wage the war to the outside world. I knew my weaknesses and I told myself the truth. I have these non-negotiables and I know to myself that my whole life to this day is uncomfortable. I don't feel comfort. I don't even remember what that feels like. And it's great because every day I'm compounding results, compounding my momentum, compounding success, compounding my mindset, and it keeps going and going and going. So look at it like this, bro. Wage this war. And the last point I want to leave you with, right? And I say this, is you have to have this point in your life so dialed in to where it's just, this is your baseline. This is who you are. And it's discipline. Now, discipline is a topic that most men don't even like to talk about. Because most of you boys watching, you ain't disciplined. When push comes to shove, the easy option is what you go to. Watching some YouTube, playing your games, jerking off again, being too scared or worried to approach that girl. It's bullshit. You need to realize that your life right now needs to be so in line with discipline to where you are doing what you are supposed to do regardless of how you feel. So take this from me genuinely. If you want to be a disciplined individual, you can't even worry about your emotions. Emotions, what's that? You do what you're supposed to do. That's it. You're tired? So be it. You're feeling great? Awesome. No matter what, no matter how you feel, no matter if it's rain, hail, shining outside, you do what you're supposed to do. And here right now, bro, I will tell you, this will start to open up every opportunity in your life. I mean that. Like, you don't understand. As you start to go through life with all of this, identifying your weaknesses, having non-negotiables, having a baseline of discomfort, and then being a disciplined individual, the opportunities that arise in your business, in your mindset, in your personal life, in everything just comes to you. Because you don't realize that we as men, we create luck, we create opportunities, we create our lives. And you, as you go to war with every little part of this world that's trying to drag you down to the version of yourself that you've been, when you wage that war and you go to war, genuinely, you get what you want. It's this modern world stopping you. It's your own self and your limiting beliefs stopping you. But you can easily break through that. You know, with what? Taking raw action. So just do what you're supposed to do. Look at that candy bar and throw it across the room. Look at that cigarette you're about to spark up and break it in half. Look at that pretty girl that you would never say hello to before and go approach her. It's how you have to live and perform through your life if you don't want to be just another feather in the wind. I genuinely mean that. You get one life, bro. Listen to me and your whole life will start to change. If you want to do coaching with me one-on-one, I will help you with every area of your life. You want to have the opportunity to meet young men all improving themselves? Message me on Instagram for coaching, or go to the link in the description and sign up to the second tier. And bro, I promise you, it'll be the best decision you ever made. And I'm going to help you become the man that you want to be. Love you, brother. I mean that.